So I'll begin with a confession. I am terrified of commitment. I started attending Ridgely in early 2015 and attended pretty much every Sunday, but didn't join until October 2017. I also gave consistently during that time, but didn't submit my first pledge until the Stewardship Drive for 2017. In other words, I attended and gave all throughout 2015 and knew I'd continue to do so throughout 2016, but I was hesitant to make a commitment. Also, yes, that means that I made a financial pledge a year before I actually joined. When I first started coming to Ridgely, I was a newly minted English PhD who was underemployed and living with my younger brother. I gave to the church, but I wasn't able to give much. Over the years, I've had a couple of stints when I was unemployed, underemployed, or otherwise experiencing financial uncertainty, but have ultimately been lucky to find jobs that have offered better salary and benefits, enabling me to increase my giving over the years. As someone whose family didn't have much money growing up and then spent nearly a decade being a poor graduate student, it's exciting to be able to give more each year. Outside of my general giving, there are two specific funds that mean a lot to me and are part of my annual one-off gifts. The first is the Pointer Camp Scholarship Fund. When I was a child, my family couldn't afford to send me to camp without assistance, so it has brought me great joy to be able to contribute to that in addition to my regular giving over the years. Knowing that I can pay it forward, so to speak, has meant a lot to me. The other fund that is important to me is the K-Lamb Good Samaritan Fund. While the Pointer Scholarship Fund was well established when I arrived, the Good Samaritan Fund was in its infancy, and I've been able to witness its growth. One of the initiatives that this fund funds is bus passes for people in the community with transportation struggles. When I was unemployed in 2018, I volunteered in the office and was able to see how important the bus passes we gave out were. Each month, we are able to give one-day bus pass to anyone who comes to us and needs it. I didn't realize how many people rely on and appreciate the bus passes we provide until I saw them coming to the door and asking for them. And in 2018, we had a finite number each month, and even though we limited, and still limit, each individual person to one pass per month, by the end of the month, we had to turn people away because we were out. Now, however, the Good Samaritan Fund receives enough earmarked donations that we no longer have to turn away anyone who hasn't received their allotted pass, which is great to witness. With the Camp Scholarship Fund, I'm given a sense of picking up where others left off. Previous members got the fund started, and the rest of us continue to help it grow. For the Good Samaritan Fund, I got to witness and be part of its beginnings and initial growth, and look forward to watching us and future members help it to continue to grow. On the subject of general fund giving, there are 2 points I want to make. Firstly, it's important to the church to understand what our best intentions are for financial giving. Secondly, there are times when we're able to give more financially, and there are times when we're able to give less financially, but more of our time and talents. When I was a child, my parents covered my offering in any pledge card I submitted. I didn't get an allowance, but every week, my parents gave me 75 cents to put in the plate. When I went away to college and graduate school, I always attended church and gave to the church I was attending, but I never pledged to any of them. I honestly don't think I understood the significance of pledging. I was blissfully naive to the fact that churches had to have, budgets. So, point number 1 is that yes, the church does in fact have a budget, which is part of why the pledges are so important, so that we can plan. But there's a subpoint to that for my fellow commitment phobes. That pledge can be adjusted if needed. You see, I pledged in 2017 and fulfilled my commitment. In 2018, I pledged again, but then in August of that year, my contract job ended, and I found myself unemployed and unable to keep my commitment. As anyone who's experienced unemployment and financial uncertainty can attest, it's a stressful situation. But one thing you don't have to worry about is being judged here. I emailed the treasurers and said I needed to reduce my giving for the time being, and that was it. I was still giving, but it was significantly less. When I later started a new job, I emailed the treasurers again with the good news that I could continue my original pledge. Same thing in January 2023. I was laid off and had to reach out and adjust my pledge. In fact, during the stewardship campaign for this year, I was working a temporary contract job and didn't know what my situation would be in 24. So I submitted a pledge card with lots of writing saying something along the lines of, I know I can give X amount, but if my employment continues, I can give you this other amount. The second point I want to make is that sometimes we have money, other times we have something else we can give. When I was unemployed and unable to give much financially, I had a decent amount of time on my hands and volunteered at the office, which is where I got to see the impact of the bus passes and our other outreach initiatives and talk to church members I don't normally talk to. Whatever our situation, we have something we can give. Some of you are creative or good with kids. Some of you are outgoing or love to cook or bake. Others of us struggle when we're asked to imagine something or have a small group discussion, but are surprisingly comfortable with public speaking. Whatever your gift, I hope you reflect on what you have to contribute and make a commitment to Ridgely in the coming year.